It starts slow and sweet, a long, drawn-out stretch on the sax. Santone joins in without words, just blue notes. The guitarist picks out whirls, and Daddy-O raps out a counterpoint to the sax, a sudden syncopation as the real gone chick offsets, emphasizes his poem's beat. The Starbucks manager doesn't know what to make of the performance. He calls corporate, asks if they scheduled something. Corporate thinks to know that their vision's gone crazy, man, as he relates the ghostly sound of bongos, the cigarette smoke haze, the junkies shooting up in the ladies' room. Corporate is wondering about this sudden plague of square minions and round bulbs going into the city lights at the bitter end of their tunnels. Daddy-O and the trio are calling back reality, drawing out the harsh clown colors of these Starbucks uniform earth tones. The pseudo bistro, stripped of its hip veneer, reverts to form. Golden arches rise in the parking lot. Kitty tubes maze past the windows. And the best baristas of their generation are asking customers if they want that Happy Meal grande. Daddy-O and his army, maybe a little smug, scratch out another line on the sax and head for their next engagement.
Cool, baby.
Oh, this next one is called When Your Robot Wants to Kill You. So, and I read this like way back when in the first one, but yeah, not this one. When your robot wants to kill you, it probably thinks you'd be better off dead. Plead with it. Tell it all the reasons you have to live. Beg for another chance. Your robot will point out everything you've ever done wrong, the consequences of your actions, inactions, and well-intentioned screw-ups, how you carry them like a millstone and cannot let them go. Respond with all the good you've done, the lives you've touched, your accomplishments, family, friends. Your robot will recite the names of everyone you've lost, offended, driven away. Then me you'll respond. I want to live for me. Your robot will point out things are unlikely to improve. You're in pain and will probably remain so. Certainly it is only a matter of time before even your body cries out for an ending.
Yeah, I know.
If you falter at this point, your robot will do what it sees as the merciful thing.
Mercy, mercy.
So tell it does not matter. You want to go outside, breathe deeply, and see the sun. Then go. Do not let the robot follow you out. This next one's a real short one. It's called Breakout at the Primate Research Center. The monkeys have escaped from the primate center. Do not be alarmed. They're ordinary monkeys. They have not been exposed to any pathogens or viruses that can be transmitted to man. But they might bite, so call us if you see them. Do not get close. Do not let them take your car keys. Do not listen to anything they say.
Okay, I'm going to read one. This is from a poet, local poet by the name, and she is wonderful. Her name is Phoebe Newman. She's a neighbor, lives here in this community, right here in this neighborhood, and she's great.
She's a hometown.
Yeah. This book of hers is called Sugar, and there's some wonderful poems.
Is that her handprint and her footprint on the back and the front?
I believe it is.
I don't know. Maybe.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
I don't know
make
why I
sense if
think
it
that.
was.
Yeah. Anyway, the one I'm going to read is called A Short Visit to Missoula. Most days, the wind in Montana is like an aimless person. One who wakes up too late, dazed, without reasonable plans, and wanders around searching through battered magazines for promising horoscopes. Infinitely boring. The wind sidles sneaking between the houses in the small formal towns, doing its usual damage with dust and crumpled paper, then slips on out to the prairie, where it hovers above the sweet grass. Two dirt-caked buffalo roll over and over again in its wake, and a small herd of antelope feel it pass and lift their elegant faces into the sky. Facing north, everything seems to be waiting for this dull wind to change, to twirl, to howl, scattering and spinning around. It would be so fantastic to see the dark clouds blowing in from the west and catch that delicious scent of rain. But a vagrant of the worst sort, the late sweeper who lunches on waffles and then drives slowly for hours in the dwindling daylight in no particular road, this wind simply fades away and dies just east of the Heido line. That's all I got. You want to read one? And somebody, you got another one? Otherwise, we can open it up. Tom said he wanted to read one, but you got to pick
Yeah,
it.
well, at some point.
Okay.
I think I do, especially if one of you people come up and encourage me by reading one yourself. I've never read, I've even written a few poems in my life, and but I've never recited one out loud in front of an audience of any kind.
It's pretty scary.
Well, you guys are kind of scary. I'll admit. You guys are pretty scary. But I might read one if somebody else encourages me.
Does Bob have another one?
Yeah, I got a few more here.
Okay.
The next one is called Failing the Windows 10 Alzheimer's Test.
That's timely.
Before you can go through the second test, trying to remember the overly long password with mixed case letters and a number, Windows forces you to create on the off chance you had too much free time and needed to spend some of it retyping your password. And so you didn't have a finger fumble before the test. They show you a pretty picture and ask if you like it, so they can show you others you'll like. It asks you the question, even if you've evaluated the picture before. But if you already responded and attempt to respond again, it displays a message thanking you instead of letting you reply. So it knows when you've already evaluated an image and asks you anyway. I figure it's a test to see if you remember if you already told them what you think of the picture. If you fail it again and again, they put you on a list to pre-order the next version of Windows on the assumption that anyone with a memory as bad as yours will forget how much you hate Windows and order the next one too.
I think we can all relate to that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, that was the cleaned up version,
Yeah.
rated G.
And this one is a little more recent. It's called Conversations with Strangers. I'm wiggling my foot, noticing how the calf muscle contracts, and wondering if, for the first time in months, I should put my right shoe on to remember what it was like. Sometimes while waiting for medication in the hospital's daycare area, the supplicants chat. While friendly nurses hover, we discuss our wound vacs, our PICC lines, our conditions. Donna is telling me about her amputation 5 years ago, about forgetting it while rising from bed and falling over multiple times, about having to watch where her artificial limb presses her flesh for signs of irritation, about phantom pain. I tell her how my first earthquake made me distrust the ground, how the doctor telling me that in the worst case I'd lose the foot was like the ground moving beneath me again. Somehow I always thought my body would age intact. Who will I be if not whole? Donna tells me her bone infection has spread and they're going to take a bit more of her leg. Turns out we're both having surgery to remove corrupted bone before the end of the month. Neither of us knows how much they'll take. Donna hopes she'll still have enough beneath the knee for another prosthetic. I hope I'll be able to stand on my own 2 feet.
Wow.
And on that one, I had surgery a couple of weeks ago, and
And he did walk in here on his own 2 feet. I witnessed it.
on 2 feet with crutches.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still.
It's still, yeah.
We didn't have to carry you in.
Yes. Yeah, and Donna's surgery is coming up on the 10th, so
We ready?
this is topical. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Are we at the open mic portion?
Yes, we are.
Clerk and I can get a little loosey-goosey tonight, I think.
Well, I have 2 poems, and I'd love to have accompaniment.
Okay.
One of my, the first one is a poem I wrote, and the next one is a poem that Allen Ginsberg wrote. So I'm going to read mine first because I don't want to read mine after Ginsberg. I don't have a title for this poem, but here it is. I came here on a whim, but decided to stay. Walking the dark, lonely streets, I wondered why. Something like rain was falling, but gentle, like being licked by a basket full of poodle puppies. I turned my collar up as I made my way down 3rd Street, past the closed shops, the darkened plate glass windows reflecting the yellow, red, green stoplight dripping in rivulets like a Dali painting. No one out at this hour but the cops, a gin mill cowboy stumbling home. And me, what was I doing walking a beat on this never-ending night? Habitual insomniac, wearing off caffeine-tinged jitters, tired of my own company, had to get out. My mind churned, wondering why he left. Can't stand the rain, babe, gotta go where there's sun, he said. So now he's walking on a sun-blasted beach, and I'm here in this gray town walking through the rain. My rain, your rain too. It's our rain, homeless guy in a cardboard box. This cackling women after last call at the Blue Moon. All of us piling out onto the street shining with rain. Rain tapping the awnings as it all runs down the gutters and out somehow to the sea. Wherever the current takes it, maybe even to your relentless tropic hemisphere. My sweet, my gone prince of tides, the waves are all made of rain.
Let's watch Allen Ginsberg beat that.
He doesn't have a chance.
He doesn't have a chance.
Have a chance, yeah.
I'll let him speak. I'll speak for him. This is actually one of my favorite of his poems, and it's called A Supermarket in California. What thoughts I have of you tonight, Walt Whitman, for I walked down the side streets under the trees with a headache, self-conscious, looking at the full moon. In my hungry fatigue and shopping for images, I went into the neon fruit supermarket, dreaming of your enumerations. What peaches and what penumbras, whole families shopping at night, aisles full of husbands, wives in the avocados, babies in the tomatoes. And you, Garcia Lorca, what were you doing down by the watermelons? I saw you, Walt Whitman, childless, lonely old grubber, poking among the meats in the refrigerator and eyeing the grocery boys. I heard you asking questions of each. Who killed the pork chops? What price bananas? Are you my angel? I wandered in and out of the brilliant stacks of cans following you, and followed in my imagination by the store detective. We strode down the open corridors together in our solitary fancy, tasting artichokes, possessing every frozen delicacy, and never passing the cashier. Where are we going, Walt Whitman? The doors close in an hour. Which way does your beard point tonight? I touch your book and dream of our odyssey in the supermarket and feel absurd. Will we walk all night through solitary streets? The trees add shade to shade. Lights out in the houses. We'll both be lonely. Will we stroll dreaming of the lost America of love, past blue automobiles and driveways, home to our silent cottage? Ah, dear father, graybeard, lonely old courage teacher. What America did you have when Sharon quit poling his ferry and you got out on a smoking bank and stood watching the boat disappear on the black waters of Lee?
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, it's good weird.
Okay. On the heels of Ginsburg, I've been in worse places.
A true trooper.
I need my electronic notes here. So I've got something that I wrote that I think y'all appreciate if you've ever thought about the land of the free.
Oh.
This is called Race Someplace. You gotta fight traffic for a great parking spot like this one. Now you're ready for the big event, capturing the amazing street ballet of worldwide sprinters, carrying an Olympic torch, celebrating the spirit of the games, running fast, free, gliding like urban panthers. Harmonizing their reflected image on shiny chrome and mirrored glass along countless avenues, rising like stars above earthly dangers, dismissing for a while the dread of an alternate route with a traffic stop by misguided officers who might choose to close in on their orbit, turning them away down a gritty, slimy street where light sneaker steps can be diminished by angry boot stomps and rabid shouts, hustled past cardboard sidewalk shelters, broken glass, trash, graffiti, heading down a mossy dead-end alley, stumbling with a fluttering sputter, approaching a muddy Sports Illustrated puddle where they pause to honorably take a knee. Thank you. I've got one more that is actually about a year old, and celebration of a seasonal beard that I have fun with.
I love the beard.
So,
Yeah, hair is good.
it's very functional.
You don't have to cut it because it stops by itself.
There's a lot to be said for it when we're down in the freezing temperatures, and or if somebody steals the covers off in the middle of the night. So this is called Man Plans.
Man, oh.
As you venture along a familiar path, an icy wind startles your face. Thoughts of falling mercury now quickening the pace. You might choose a different drummer. Rewrite your on the Daily Show. Bearding up for winter to get in touch with your inner hobo. It's nice to take it easy, park the razor and just get dressed. But to see how gray it's gotten, you never would have guessed. A month or so will pass, and you find as it gets longer, your regard for historical figures becomes a little stronger. Shakespeare, Da Vinci, Ulysses S. Grant, Tolstoy, Ginsberg, Yosemite Sam. If you could summon the spirit of Lincoln or trade secrets with Sigmund Freud, do you think they would be flattered or maybe just annoyed? Try some thoughtful tugs upon your whiskered chin. And oh yes, here it comes, just a slightly wicked grin. Your beard might be a portal into another world, a caravan, a sleight of hand. Now raise your scepter twirled. You're a castaway who's got to build a fire, shoot a gun, slash the briar, create a shelter with sturdy walls, sail a raft through raging squalls. Finally, you make your way back to familiar shores. Now, inside your quiet rooms, again you pace the floors. With another calendar behind you, in the midst of our coldest season, your next whisker-stroked pronouncement might be infused with a bit more reason.
Any more readers willing to?
No, I have to. Spur of the moment idea that I can do this.
I've got another one.
You've got another one? Caroline has a couple that I can read.
Okay, good.
You can do it. Okay. These are not my own. These were written by Caroline, who is behind the camera. She's
I see the hand.
Yes, she's here on behalf of MCM, our local cable channel 11. So hopefully, for those of you that tune into channel 11, you'll see this program pretty soon, and you can relive the joy and wonder. So I have two of hers. One of them's a poem. The other one, I think we can handle it. It requires some audience participation.
Bring it on.
Thank you. But just the poem first. And
It's written on the margins.
I know it's written on the release for filming. So thanks for making this real easy, Caroline.
That's more wine.
Okay, so I'm very much so musical. Yeah, please. This one is Blue Words, Gray Day. Blue words on a gray day. Empty heart, heavy funk. Ked scuff, gunmetal sidewalk. The pavement runs ahead of my thoughts. Like a dog chasing leaves, like I chase shadows of your memory. Bas relief of brighter times. Okay, we're gonna try this. This was her idea, just FYI on that one.
So if it doesn't work out, it's her fault.
Yeah, nothing to do with it. I'm just the voice at the front of
So
the
get
room.
the disclaimer
Yeah.
ahead of time. Yeah.
So I will say something, and y'all can repeat it back to me. And there will come a time when there will be a 1, 2, 3 snap. If you're like that, you can do double hand snap if you want. If you got it, I'm not that talented, honestly. Okay, so I say, you repeat. Got the music going. 1, 2, 3, snap. Okay, ready? Let's see how this goes.
I'm glad you guys are.
Hip chicks and beatniks. Share lit and word fix. To the song go of the bongo and Snap of the fingertips. Snap of the fingertips. Yeah! We did it! Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Nice lead on, Caroline.
Oh, gave it up.
Anyone else have poetry they want to share? Avery and Christopher?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Did somebody else?
Do you want to
No,
go?
it's your turn.
I'll go first.
Okay, she'll go first.
Camera's not on.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Please, feel free.
Well, a little show and tell. This is my favorite book of all time, Kerouac's The Dharma Bums. And I bought this one in April 1962. And
See the cover?
yeah, this is the first British paperback. That's A4D in Anne Charters' bibliography. And before that, I mean, I was, 18 years old. And before, it rapidly became my favorite book of all time. And I also knew Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 and was much taken with the romance of the bootleggers. You probably know what I'm talking about. And so I decided I would be the bootlegger who memorized the entire text of the Dharma Bums. Well, this was... No, not... This was a typical ADHD project. It was way too grandiose to start with, and it never got the kind of persistence and perseverance that it should have had. But I did get the first 2 pages. And 50 years later, I still have those first 2 pages. So I will try now to recite them without a book. Okay, with the accompaniment of our intrepid sideman here. Okay. Hopping a freight out of Los Angeles at high noon one day in late September 1955, I got on a gondola and lay down with my duffel bag under my head and my knees crossed and contemplated the clouds as we rolled north to Santa Barbara. It was a local, and I intended to sleep on the beach to Santa Barbara that night and catch either another local to San Luis Obispo the next day or the first-class freight all the way to San Francisco at 7 p.m. Somewhere near Camarillo, where Charlie Parker had been mad and had relaxed back to normal health, a thin old little bum climbed into my gondola as we headed into a siding to give a train right away and looked surprised to see me there. He established himself at the other end of the gondola and lay down facing me with his head on his own miserably small pack and said nothing. By and by, they blew the highball whistle after the eastbound freight had smashed through on the main line, and we pulled out as the air got colder and fog began to blow from the sea over the warm valleys of the coast. Both the little bum and I, after unsuccessful attempts to huddle on the cold steel in wraparounds, got up and paced back and forth and jumped and flapped arms at each hour end of the gong. Pretty soon we headed into another siding at a small railroad town, and I figured I needed a poor boy of Tokay wine to get me through the cold dust run to Santa Barbara. Sorry, yes. Will you watch my pack while I jump over there, while I go over there and get a bottle of wine? Sure thing. I jumped over the side and ran across Highway 101 to the store, where I bought, besides wine, a little bread and candy. I ran back to my freight train, which had another 15 minutes to wait in the now warm, sunny scene. But it was late afternoon and bound to get cold soon. The little bum was sitting cross-legged at his end before a pitiful repast of 1 can of sardines. I took pity on him and went over and said, "How about a little wine to warm you up? Maybe you'd like some bread and cheese to go with your sardines." "Sure thing." He spoke from far away, inside a little meek voice box, either afraid or unwilling to assert himself. I bought the cheese 3 days ago in Mexico City before the long, cheap bus ride across Zacatecas and Durango and Chihuahua, 2,000 long miles to the border
at El Paso. He ate the cheese and bread and drank the wine with gusto and gratitude. I was pleased. I reminded myself of the line in the Diamond Sutra that says, "Practice charity without holding in mind any conceptions about charity, for charity, after all, is just a word." I was very devout in those days and was practicing my religious devotions almost to perfection. Since then, I've grown a little hypocritical about my lip service and a little tired and cynical because now I am so old and neutral. But then I really believed in the reality of charity and kindness and zeal and neutral tranquility and wisdom and ecstasy, and believed that I was an old-time bhikkhu in modern clothes wandering the world, usually the immense triangular arc of New York to Mexico City to San Francisco, and believed that in order to turn the wheel of the true meaning, or Dharma, and gain merit for myself as a future Buddha, awakener, and a future hero in paradise. That's right. I had not heard anything about Dharma bums yet. I had not met Jaffe Ryder yet. I was about to the next week. Nor heard anything about Dharma bums, although at this time I was a perfect Dharma bum myself and considered myself a religious wanderer. The little bum in the gondola solidified all my beliefs by warming up to the wine and talking, and finally whipping out a tiny slip of paper containing a prayer from St. Teresa, announcing that after her death she would return to the earth by showering it with roses forever for all living creatures. "Where did you get this?" I asked. "Oh, I cut it out of a Reading Room magazine in Los Angeles 2 years ago. I always carry it with me." "And you squat in boxcars and read it?" "Most every day." He talked not much more than this, and was very modest about his religion, and told me not much about himself. He is the kind of quiet little bum whom nobody pays much attention to, even in Skid Row, let alone on Main Street. If a cop hustled him off, he hustled and disappeared. And if yard dicks were around in a big city yard when a brake was pulling out, chances are they never got a sight of the little man hiding in the weeds and hopping out in the shadows. That's as far as I can go.
Cheers.
Thank you. This is wonderful. Adrian, you with me?
Hello. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with one of my favorite poems that is not mine. And it is called A Song in the Front Yard. It is by Gwendolyn Brooks. And if y'all want to join in, I'd be more than happy. Let's go. I stayed in the front yard all my life. I want to peek at the back, where it's rough and untended and hungry weeds grow. A girl gets sick of a rose. I want to go in the back and to the backyard now, and maybe down the alley and to where the charity children play. I want a good time today. They do some wonderful things. They have some wonderful time. My mother sneers, but I say it's fine. How they don't have to go in 8:45. My mother tells me that Johnny May will grow up to be a bad woman. That George will be taken to jail sooner or late on account of last winter he sold our back gate. But I say it's fine. Honest, I do. And I'd like to be a bad woman too. I wear brave stockings of night black lace and strut down the streets with paint on my face.
Tom, we want to hear Tom's voice.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll read one.
Okay, yeah, good.
This is from Thomas Lux, and it's called Ode to a Joyful Ones. They walk even stumble among us, is season to praise them, to protect them. Even the sound of a lead slug dropped in a lead plate.
I'm looking. Oh, this one's too long. That's what I was reading about. But that's too long.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Trying to help Tom out here. Okay, where was it? Oh, lead slug dropped in a lead plate. Even that, for them, is music. Because they bring laughter, brief amnesia. Because they stand talking, taking pleasure in others, with their hands on the shoulders of strangers and the shoulders of each other. Because you don't have to tell them to walk towards the light. Because if there are 2 pork chops, they will serve you the better one. Because they give you the crutch off their backs. Because when there are 2 of them together, their shining fills the room. Because you don't have to tell them to walk towards the light.
Whoa, really good.
Well, I ain't gonna read that one. But this one is called Consideration by this Phoebe Newman, a local lady that lives right here, or still lives right here. in our neighborhood, yeah.
We know her.
Crossing the Red Bridge again. Swallowing the sweet fragrance of the dark water and cedar, I find amid the smooth eddies beyond the twirling salmon and the elegant pacing herons, my shimmering reflection, the face of a man, I'm changing this, fatherless now and childless, an untroubled image of a life carefully suspended between memory and imaginings. A single narrow pathway from shore to shore, lifting and curiously shining,
Wow.
called Consideration.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, well, that's all I got. I can play more if somebody wants to do it.
Yeah.
I'll go some more. This first one's going to be really short, so it's probably not worth jumping in on. But the second one, by all means, that'd be fantastic. So this first one is called Allow Me the Grace. It is a series of 3 different haikus together. A triku, if you will. Here we go. To dream is to be a complex human being. Let me be complex. And let them be tied to my wrists like big balloons and not like shackles, so that I may fly or crash when I try to make dreams reality.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Okay. Confidence. I think y'all like this one. Confidence is not one singular thing to be captured in such a simple 3 syllables. It is not a gift to be received, but a reward to be earned, to be revoked. Through losing it, losing everything, I've learned what it really is and why I crave it. Confidence is loving yourself. It is holding your head high as you feel the hem of your skirt licking the hem of your panties and finding it thrilling because you can. However, it is also embracing the feeling of that hem flirting with your ankles as it cops a feel with every step. And it is getting on stage regardless of your talent and knowing that it is for you. Confidence is turning down the bottle or the joint because you don't need it. It is getting into bed alone and sleeping peacefully rather than restlessly next to a partner you can't trust. And it is allowing the sheets and other guests knowing that they will respect you. Confidence is not the words said behind your back or screamed in your face. It will never be your worth in someone else's eyes. The only eyes that matter are yours, looking back at your beautiful here, no matter what they see. Flaws are inevitable. Love them. Scars show growth. Love them. Stretch marks, asymmetrical parts, acne, chub, rolls, love them all because they are you. Love them because they have the power to change, because you have the power to change them if you want to, or leave them if you don't. Love yourself because confidence, above all, is sexy.
Yeah.
Pleasure to share stage with you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Pleasure to share stage.
yeah, great.
Thank you.
Good job. Good.
I was gonna ask the same thing you were. Oh, actually, you know what we haven't done tonight? Just to let you all know, every year in Yamhill County we have a writing contest called Paper Gardens. Submissions are due March 1st. And we have 2 local judges for it's both either prose or poetry. And this year the poetry judge we have is Barbara Drake, who is a wonderful poet and a former Linfield College professor. March 1st.
There's actually applications right there.
There are actually applications right here. If you want to.
Spanish on one side and English on the other.
Yeah, so if you are an aspiring writer or know someone who you'd like to see their work get submitted, please grab the application. It's also on the Arts Alliance at the Yamhill County webpage. And then the chosen poets and writers, their work is published in this really neat book. And then we have a celebration in May in which they read. And it's all ages and it's open to anyone who lives, works, or consumes a lot of oxygen in Yamhill County. There is an entrance fee for adults.
Yes.
Is it on the bookmark? It's not on the bookmark. I think it's like $10, $5 or $10.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. Oh, adults, it's $10 for one prose entry or 2 poems. Make checks payable at AAYC. Okay. Anyone else want to share? Anyone else want to read? Okay.
we're good.
I think we're good. Thank you all so much. We will see you here next month on February 1st. Thank you. Thank you. For Poetry Night.
Crazy, man. As he relates the ghostly sound of bongos